Today we'll be playing a little game called Doll's Nest. It's a Souls-like, about a humble doll trying to stay alive, made a weapon, in a world that is full of weapons, to the point of redundancy. I drew myself as my Sona within Doll's Nest, which is what this PNG is from. I was drawing it all last night. I was actually gonna stream last night, earlier. Actually, a lot of stuff happened, and the week has been pretty hard on us. And again, we're not doing a regular Fervent Friday. And we had to take one of the games out of circulation because we got it from the library and we had to return it, which made us feel a little bit bad, on top of the other stuff making us feel a little bit bad. Oh, I see. Looks like I have to fucking update because in the time it took me to fucking start streaming, an update happened. I hate updating on stream because it really fucking usually goes super slow. And this one just happened in seconds. I can't even complain. So what was everyone saying? I didn't actually read all the chat yet. The phrase to stop sounding like words, it's weird when that happens. Oh yeah, saying I am not a doll so many times it loses meaning. So sick. Well, that's an interesting line of thought. Thanks for sharing it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope I didn't interrupt. I should have read the room better. In terms of like doing a tip or a dono or whatever, or a subscribble during like a stream event, I guess I would say it is part of being a streamer and being live, and a good VTuber is not so put off balance by one single notification. A stream of tips or follows or subscriptions for like 10 minutes, maybe it'd be derailing, but it was fine. You don't have to second guess yourself. The stream is not just for me, but it is also for you. We try to care about all sentience. Hope that didn't get too parasocial. We are fairly parasocial, I guess. I don't think the parasocial is a value judgment. I was being a little bit cheeky when saying it before. I like to mention it to remind ourselves too, because like we also need to be aware of that. Like as we keep saying this, but we are super small. So it's not the same sort of issue with that it would be with a larger audience, but we're trying to cultivate better habits. But I mean, we are fairly vulnerable on stream. We don't hide a whole lot. We do a lot that other streamers would be uncomfortable with. Shit, we even have at least one friend who's a streamer who thinks we certainly put too much out there and we're gonna get hurt one day. And we've certainly pulled back more than we thought we'd be able to from when we were at our most vulnerable, I guess. Because at one point we literally had no friends, and our general social interaction with the world was through streaming, and we were in a dark place then. And it was during that time that I Am Not Adult was particularly cultivated. But we also have a weirdness right now because our existence is still very online. We still don't have a lot of friends in flesh space. I don't know if we could technically be described as hikikomori anymore, but like we certainly still have like a hikikomori operating system, if nothing else. Um, and it's hard out here because being queer, being trans, being autistic, being weird, uh, hammer hits nail really hard lately, and the hammer is a jackboot. We've been going out for certain uh special events, but we have certainly not done as much socializing as we wish we could, especially because we mask, and masking is also a social what's the opposite of lube? Whatever the opposite of lube is, that's what having a mask on is for, generally chatting it up with anyone in the streets. So we also have that extra difficulty modifier. And so we do value flesh space and stuff, and we do go outside and touch grass or whatever they call it. But we still we're still very much validated in our existence a lot online, and to some degree that'll never stop because of fandom and like the stuff that like existing online and being an artist and even VTubing culture and even furry culture like do and will continue to do. But also we haven't achieved the balance that we so strongly fight for. And we'd love to say sometimes that when we're being like doing the I am not a doll thing, that like it's complete performance and there's nothing weird about it, and like we're not like, we're not tearing up or anything, it's just, it's fine. It's fine. Do not look behind the curtain. Authenticity? What's that? I'm joking for the most part. Or I should say, to be clear, we are pretty authentic. We think that any sort of performance comes from a real place, and when the real place is literally from you, it can be a lot. The opposite of lube is duct tape. I, I guess. Fluff got a bunch of Eastern Europe fans because they used to stream at 2 a.m. LOL. To stream at 2 a.m. again. Damn. Okay, so I'm going to talk for a bit about a thing because I really suck at actually releasing video essays, so I want to talk about it for a second, especially because of all the things the Doll Nest makes me think of, and the looping music that really makes me want to spin my wheels a little bit. So, there are reasons that I like Doll Nest because of the game itself. Oh right, I forgot. It it does that. As a little intro thingy. Dawn, spawn, annihilate. This is the purpose of this creation. Devour, spawn, devour more, spawn again. Even after annihilating all their foes, they continue to devour. They continue to spawn. Time had passed, all had been devoured, and yet they never cease spawning. Weapons, born without enemies, wander within the womb, fighting amongst themselves. Doll's Nest. So if I want my music loop, I'm gonna have to go to the options menu so it doesn't so it actually loops. There we go. Okay, so I'm on my bullshit right now. So, I think it's interesting when thinking about the why you like art, or what you see as valuable as art, or like what's good about like a piece of art. We've had our tastes challenged in a way that has definitely made us reassess how we think about like art and art aesthetics. There's like a CJ Dad's video about like fashion and art, and it can apply to stuff outside of fashion too, specifically with subcultures. We see it a lot more recently, that people are wanting the aesthetics of a subculture without an association with the culture ipso facto, and them seeing the culture as the aesthetic. And to a degree, I feel like that is sort of what the internet kind of does. Like, it can take a look and, you know, there's like a TikTok trend, and there is a sort of shorthanding of a thing. Even thinking about something like, say, dark academia as an aesthetic, like, stuff like that, or in the age of internet cultures spawning the way that they can, and the way that I just mentioned happens as a regurgitation of subcultures that already existed, you'll see subcultures kind of existing without as strong a sense of identity beyond the aesthetic. What the fuck does that mean, and why is it important to what I'm thinking about why I like this game? I think that it's easy to see the aesthetics of something and go, oh, this person is just doing the thing. But I think I want to stop taking it for granted that people are actually, you know, in conversation with a subculture, or and are aware of it when creating a thing sometimes, because especially in this like AI filled world, so much things are being stripped of context. We've heard a lot of people talking about like what the Studio Ghibli AI art trend kind of like signifies, especially in terms of like this coercive ownership of art, where AI just takes art from artists and people can regurgitate it and make it say whatever they want, like how the White House Ghibli-fied someone's arrest that they considered a terrorist for their own propagandic purposes, knowing that the Hayao Miyazaki would hate this. Hayao Miyazaki was famously hating this. There's a lot of people who go, oh, but if you really like Studio Ghibli, you wouldn't be doing this. And they're right, but the cruelty of wresting the style of Studio Ghibli and using it for whatever your aesthetic purposes are, despite it not being possible before to use the Ghibli art style to that degree to supersede whatever the meaning that art had, whatever you want the art to have, without putting any actual effort in it yourself. In a world where aesthetics reign supreme, I am highly I'm highly wanting to be in community with artists and work that know the context in which they exist and want to exist in. I think it's really easy to want to set yourself apart and be completely original, because we see this weird thing called originality, or really not really knowing where stuff comes from or what's informing a thing, as tantamount to it being important. And you're very welcome. I am starting to get used to having different viewers who have different sorts of needs. Thank you for letting us know when we do well. We appreciate that. So we have two sides of this, right? We have, oh, this game just did anime waifus with a near sounding soundtrack, Souls-like gameplay aesthetics, is hard, quote, air quotes, is hard, and definitely has a dress-up doll sort of thingy. You get to play with your little robo-lolly weapons, and they're basically human armored cores. There's a lot of like SEO ass shit that you could say about this game, about like the tags that it hits, about the tags that I've even put on this fucking stream to get people to see it. And you could just say something akin to, oh, like all the anime slop already on like Steam or whatever. Oh, actually, not even Steam anymore. Like the Switch store has a bunch of like asset flips and AI slop on it now. So you actually have to be very concerning as a viewer, or as a consumer, I guess. The other side is, oh, this is so niche that it's hard to approach. We didn't really know anyone who knew about this game. At least no one in our circles. And this game has a fair amount of jank, and I think for a what would a big streamer call it? For a AAA Andy, this game is very rough, and I can imagine a lot of people not wanting to give it much time of day. We have increasingly been celebratory of jank. We're in our trash art era, and we're trying not to insult games that we mention under this banner of this trash art era that we're in. But it is difficult because we see lots of passion in this game, but we also see some cracks, and we also wish the game was better optimized. But it is here and it exists, and we're glad it exists instead of not existing, or just being in someone's like unfinished projects folder, never to see the light of day. Despite the jank, I really appreciate what it's doing, and the more that we understand different facets of like anime history, for example, we recognize more things at play. Now, that's a very long-winded way to say a lot of the tropes and like crossovers between certain things is why we like this game, because it seems like it was made by a fan of those things as well. And that's all fine and good, but I think particularly in my desire to emulate Rei Ayanami and those type of girls, as well as stuff like Gunslinger Girl and matriculating to the girls with guns genre, or girl as a weapon. Things that have been rehashed and remixed to beautiful degrees and stuff like Nier Automata. I'm seeing reflections of all these works, and other contemporary works like Cold Vein that I mentioned last time playing this, that this game wears very much on its sleeve. And I am very much like that meme of Leonardo DiCaprio, and he's pointing at the screen and he's going, ooh, ooh, I know that thing. It's very much ooh, ooh, I know that thing. But the ooh, ooh, I know that thing feels more than just aesthetics. I can't be sure because, like, sure, death of the artist, but not every artist puts every single thought about their work in way they want to interpret it out in the open. I don't know how the developers look at this. I don't know how the developers, which things the developers cared about and which ones they didn't. And I don't try to put too much eggs in the basket of they definitely knew this thing that I think their work is reflecting, but it also exists in this like cultural ecosystem, like how I was a fan of Berserk related things before I was a fan of Berserk. By being a fan of Final Fantasy VII that's influenced by Berserk, even though I didn't know it was influenced by Berserk, I was still affected by Berserk through osmosis. So if I make a thing without knowing about Berserk, informed by some of the things of Final Fantasy VII, I will in effect be taking from Berserk, even though I didn't know that that was part of the meal that I had. And you are what you eat. In the same way, I don't know what exactly informed Doll's Nest. I think about the fact that one of the devs for Signalis apparently did not play Silent Hill 2 before making Signalis, which is insane to me. So that humbles me to, yeah, not everyone knows all the things you're a fan of. Even if you think they'd be a fan of them too. There's a book called Beautiful Fighting Girl that we really want to use as a springboard for a video essay. And it is about the trope. The Rei Ayanamis, the gunslinger girls, the girls who are good at killing, and why that's a trope, and like all the stuff about what it means. And kind of how it kind of reverberates and affects culture and, like, say, the modern otaku. I don't know how much it still held up, because when we were in college and film school, it was a required reading for one of our classes. But we didn't need to read the whole book for the class, only certain parts of it. But we always wanted to do a deep dive into it, and especially comparing it to some of the stuff that we love now, and thinking about the girls as a weapon and that trope for us. We'd love to know more about the context of it instead of the vacuum in which we exist and the interconnected constellations of the works we know inform the, I guess you would say, the art movement of girls as a weapon, or beautiful fighting girls. I mean, obviously, I have thoughts and things of what it means to me, but I want to not isolate myself from the subculture that I want to be immersed in. That's just the way I am, I guess. I feel like Girl as a Weapon has trans vibes, but don't know how to word it. I think especially when talking about military dolls or battle dolls, your Violet Evergardens, shit, even your Fate, your Fate Stays, and certainly there's a queer interest in the genre. There's a lot of people who have riffed off of a lot of the stuff that I've mentioned, like Nier or Evangelion, with a very trans, from a very trans place. And of course, even something like Evangelion has a big trans audience. Both the Japanese and American voice actor for Shinji, or I should say English voice actor. I think Casey Monago is Canadian, maybe. I don't know. Both of the biggest VAs, I guess, for Shinji Ikari are non-binary people. For example, like there's a reason for these things. I will definitely say. I guess I can't put my finger on it either. It has something to do with identity, and I mean, like, if I wanna, if I wanna take my conspiracy board, I could also mention how if you're trans, you actually have a much higher likelihood of having been or being in the military. And although I do not like military, or I should say, I like military-informed subcultures, but I do not like the state's militaristic wing and the atrocities that tend to happen because of them. Soldiers unfortunately exist. And honestly, having trans people being trained in being able to defend themselves and others is not a bad idea. And so thinking about the overlap with that, I mean, it's part of the thing of being like marginalized in general. If you're marginalized, if you're black, for example, you're not probably, statistically, you definitely have a higher likelihood of being in the military. I would say being autistic probably is one of the ones that maybe not as much, especially because autistic people in particular are very underemployed in a very specific way. But you know, the more shit you have, the more likely you are to be involved with institutions that offer support for you joining them and sacrificing your body and mind to them. It sucks. But as a as someone who's to some degree a military otaku, I think you can tell by my fucking outfit. I definitely I am not going to be. I'm going to still be, obviously, my hoity-toity leftist self, but I am not going to. I'm not going to delude myself into being like, weapons aren't cool. They're like, in the same way that, like, an autistic person can be like, ooh, trains. I can be like, ooh. Tank. Ooh. Military pockets. Ooh, combat knife. Ooh. Anti-material rifle. You know? Okay, I've been talking for a while. Let's go back to the decayed brood chamber. Aoi is just blue in Japanese. Also, chat, I'm a weeb. This is not a surprise. Also, the methods of exploitation behind weapons and trans people. Our lives are seen as disposable tools. We're more likely to have to defend ourselves and are often protectors of larger queer community. Yeah, I just love guns and I can't get my brain to stop finding combat interesting. I think you and a lot of people are of that mind. As much as, you know, violence is bad, right? Violence permeates so much of our media. Or at the very least, conflict does. Conflict is part of our stories, and conflict is part of our existence. Without conflict, to some degree, life is boring, right? Change can even be conflict. So, we have this disease called needing to draw ourselves as characters we like. which is why I did not play this game again until I was able to draw myself, especially because I was feeling really great about this outfit when we were playing it last time, because I only found this outfit like towards the end of the stream last time. And I did there was another outfit that I did like, but the color palette actually carries over, so I didn't have to like reapply a color palette or think of a new one for the outfit. I did really appreciate that this game lets me have a non-human colored skin. Some games are like, no, you have to be a human skin person, you know? I am hoping to get some curly hair eventually, but I do have red hair and I have these purple highlights, as you can see. Twin tails aren't bad. I could probably create a twin tails version of my current hair. With like afro puffs maybe. I do like these bows, honestly, and this is the sort of thing where it's like there's certainly a desire to accessorize, and thinking about something like a Code Vein in particular that has a lot of cosmetic options but doesn't do fashion souls, sorry, it doesn't do fashion souls in the same way like Bloodborne does, where like a lot of the cosmetics about your character, unless you are walking around without certain pieces of clothing on at all, you're not going to be able to see. Like a lot of your scars and stuff, like it's all going to be covered. And Code Vein, but that's also like as the game progresses and you like kill enemies and do quests and, you know, find stuff, you'll pick up more things to accessorize. And this game definitely has a part of that, but it definitely felt reminiscent of how in Code Vein you don't get a lot of ways to accessorize yourself once the game fully starts. When in character creation, everything that's available to you in character creation outside of like certain DLC type stuff is just there, and you can always retouch yourself later at the mirror and, you know, like the hub or whatever, but generally like what you see at offset is what you get. And people who do a lot of amazing stuff and like creating like anime characters, for example, in Code Vein. And so like I am totally okay with the discoverability option of like a game like this, where it's like I don't know what I'll get until I am there with it. But I would have liked to know if there was any sort of natural hair options, or if there would be one early on, because I have a feeling that I am not going to find hair that is like my own, which, you know, that's okay. But, you know, I made myself as best I could. But, you know, it's like I'm a military preschooler. Like, you have to understand that this outfit is like the best. I will not be taking argument with that assessment. Stories can't exist without conflict. Sort of like what Lunella has in the Moon Girl series. The Moon Girl series? I don't think I've read? Is it read? How does one consume the Moon Girl series? Is it like a manga? You wanna talk? Okay, so this is how I level up. Okay, so for a lot of people, this is going to be the entry point for them. They didn't see the last stream or our demo VOD that we do have up on the channel. But as the intro explainer talked about, there's a factory. It's making dolls. These like weapons with mines are just fighting each other in this cannibalistic sort of way. There's nothing to defend, there's only weapons, but things can apparently be made better. This character is like a progenitor of what was before, I guess like a dethroned god sort of figure, and I guess we're going to bring her back to power so that we can have some purpose beyond killing everything. Though, who knows? Maybe they'll actually be the final bad guy or something. I'm not completely sure. We got out of the tutorial dungeon, beat like the first boss. We went into the Nets area, got some stuff, just sort of got the lay of the land a little bit, got our ass kicked, and met the NPCs in our hub, including this one, who is our level up girl, kind of like the doll in the dream in Bloodborne. Though I do not have any currency right now, so I'll have to do some killing. A military preschooler? So just you then? Yes. I mean, it's the red backpack. It's the red backpack. It's the red backpack. Also, like, this is the most obvious diaper bulge in a fucking game I've seen in a very long time. I also have something like Animal Crossing where you literally can wear a diaper. Like, I saw this and I fucking exploded. Let's ask about lore. The nymphs call it Had. You should too. A massive, endless cavity where machines wander aimlessly, masterless. At this point in time, we don't even know how far it goes. Anything else? That is a description about this place, about the lower levels. The lower levels? Nowadays, it's a nest of variants. They use all kinds of tricks to weaken their prey and devour them while they're vulnerable. Without a countermeasure, you'll be eaten before you know it. Anything else? About the middle levels. The middle levels are Grandia territory. They've always been at war, and Grandia has always been at the front line. They're nymphs after all. The strong win battles, they take all, and strength is decided by firepower. The middle levels are that simple, but that simplicity is their strong suit. Anything else? Upper levels. The upper levels. They're governed by Alquad. It's not a single colony, but a collective of smaller colonies. Republics, goddesses. Seems to me that they enjoy acting like those carbon-based life forms. They're cunning people, though. You should be careful. Oh, so they're the most like humans, so we need to worry the most about them killing us, and enslaving us, and dehumanizing us. Got it. Dolls can have a little cannibalism as a treat. No, nymphs call it hod. H-O-D. The nymphs call it hot. You should call it that too. Then go. Oof. Okay. I was like, the data leak is real. Transfer to the Great Forest. Transferring to the Great Forest. Transferring to the Great Forest. Wah wah wah. 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 What? There's one great forest. pearl. This is the kind of mecha game that makes me think of what was it called? Extreme Condition. Ah, flamethrower. It was like a mech survival game in an Arctic environment. I only remember the after colon part. I am deceased. Lost Planet Extreme Condition. The Lost Planet series. Or even the anime like Blue Gender, I believe it was called, where the mechs are... They help you survive, but they're sort of like exoskeletons. You could be very easily ripped from them and destroyed. They're a comfort, but only so much, you know? Dad jokes are beautiful. It'll be kind of sick if you started literally as a mannequin and unlocked hundreds of character creator options as the game goes on. Honestly, the thing that I am an android and literally the fact that the stuff that I'm picking up for cosmetics are literally doll parts, like, in the way of how you're saying. It's part of the reason I'm not really too upset that I don't have the hairpiece that I want yet, or that it wasn't available from the offset. It kind of feeds into the setting, you know? I know there's other games that people want us to be playing, but I'm sort of a mech slut. And Punk still hasn't finished Armored Core 5. We've been meaning to do something special with that. This wasn't the area that I was exploring last time, which is probably for the best. This area seems an extension of the introductory level, which implies that it's more at level for where I am at right now. We love mechs, especially in mechs that have hit locations and stuff. Hit locations? What do you mean by that? Ugh, I was a little trigger happy there with my cannon. It's funny how a lot of military weapons are named, or sorry, a lot of guns are named after shit like swords. The gun I'm using with the blue shots right now is called an Astatic, which is like a sort of rapier-like sword. we're playing a game with that has like a high fantasy setting, and we were noticing, oh yeah, a lot of these swords are the names of guns in Doll's Nest. That's kind of funny. As in mech games where you can destroy the missile bays on the other mech, remove limbs, etc. Mech that are made of parts. Ah, okay, yeah. There is a sort of like, in the same way that it's very satisfying to see battle damage on like more fleshy characters, it is also very satisfying to see a mech with like body parts missing. Recently I heard, and this isn't like new news, it was just new to me, that the concept of mech damage was something beloved by Hideki Anno, the creator of Evangelion and the director of Shin Kamen Rider and Shin Godzilla, and you know, the father of Evangelion basically, and also Gunbuster. That he really likes that stuff, partially because his dad, like, I think lost his arm in a work accident, and when he saw his like favorite giant robots without like body parts, he thought of his dad. For in a positive and a negative way, because his dad did not see himself very positively for being disabled, and especially having like lost his ability to take care of his family in the way that he saw himself as needing to. But as I understand it, for Anno, as I understand it, for Anno, it was like, that's my dad sort of thing. It wasn't, well, I think he actually did say the term like broken, and thinking about like the mech part of it, and like having action figures and like seeing a broken toy and then looking up at your dad and your dad's missing the same part. I can't fault a kid for having that thought process. But as far as I can tell, he never like thought of his dad as like a bad dad because of it. I mean, I guess other than like the self-esteem part, which is sad in and of itself. I mean, I definitely am not gonna sit here and tell, and as a disabled person, ooh, that's a cool gun, tell people how they are allowed to feel about their own disability or their own neurodivergence. Well, I reserve the right to say fuck off even to other disabled people who are like, you know, they don't deserve to exist or something. There is a line. I mean, I guess just like with other trans people, because we certainly have a certain feeling about that that thing that is kind of a meme, but also is like how a lot of trans people feel sometimes, when it's like, oh, your gender and stuff is good and valid, and you know, you're great, you're beautiful, but me though, I am hideous, you know, that sort of thing. It's I think that for the people who believe that they can say those things in complete isolation and it's okay in that sense, that like, I can say this about myself and I'm only talking bad about myself, so it's fine. And it's like, there are people who are like you, and if you disparage things that are common to people who are like you, but you go, oh, but only me though, ultimately it comes off as disingenuous. And then even if that is how you feel, is not necessarily the effect that you have. And I guess in that same way, I I don't want to feed into other marginalized people uh, being shitty to themselves, even though we live in a world that tells us that our value is diminished, or rather puts a value on our existence. Honestly, talking about mech stuff and disability is sort of hand in hand for me. I do remember, although when looking at Ghost in the Shell in film school, and like, and not just watching it because we'd already seen it, but like being in a class that's what we were studying, which was, you know, cool as fuck. There was a point that, and this was not even recognizing our own wanting to trans our gender or whatever, we immediately, when faced with the philosophical dilemma of would I willingly exchange my like parts of my body for machine parts, would I willingly do, you know, damn. Oh wait, they can hurt each other, or was that me? Interesting. If it ever got to the point where you could do like prosthetics, but you didn't have to have lost a limb necessarily, because it is like normalized to the degree of there's people who need this, but also a lot of people just use this because it does improve your quality of life, then we'd be first in line. Now, in one degree, that continues to be true, but in another degree, it does not. In the transhumanist sense of what people in the space who have the most resources are doing, I don't want anything to do with what they're up to, like Elon Musk and his brain chips. No, thank you. But in terms of changing my body in a way that I would want, that is not what would happen without the intervention that I am doing by making my body all weird or whatever. Like, yeah, I think from the moment that we fully came out to ourselves, like, yeah, this trans stuff, it's we are trans. At that point, we like got on hormones like pretty quickly. This probably has something to do with why we feel so weird about not being on hormones right now. We'll be back on them eventually, but it is fucking depressing sometimes. I do like that if you live after a skirmish, you do get a little bit of healing. I think when you perish, you just lose all your cells, and there's no way to reclaim them. So I'd love to reload at the tree. Actually, honestly, let's see what weapons we got. There's actually like, there's someone that we've been following who's a trans artist, and like someone who talks a lot about like about being trans philosophically and also like politically and stuff like that. Believe her handle on Blue Sky is May Bunny Peterson. Lots of interesting discussions. But something that came up in one of her threads recently is someone mentions like, oh, I feel like your perspective is definitely informed by the it's an amount of time that you were like out, but not on HRT. And as people continue to fight for the right to have HRT, and to have like hormone blockers for like puberty and stuff like that, for the self, for the self actualizing power, like, it is important to remember like healthcare and stuff is at stake, but also that we are trans even without the hormones, and that you know there are lots of ways that people have tried to live their truth, and that not being HRT does not mean that you have to necessarily detransition, at least socially. And it can definitely in the area that we're in right now of being off and then on and off and then on, and facing the reality of our struggle with staying on, and like the medical industry in general, it's definitely changed how we view our self-actualization. And I mean, thinking again to the Ghost in the Shell about how there's a conversation in that first film about if they were to quit, the members of Section 9, that the members that have full prosthetics, that the parts of their body that they actually own are not enough to sustain life. If you've ever seen RoboCop and they're like, oh, this is what you look like without all the body parts, basically a brainstem and sort of a face. Less than that. And Ghost in the Shell, they own less of their body than that, probably. And I mention that to say that like self-actualization is very expensive. People go into debt to get surgery, for example. It's fucked up. And your self-actualization being at stake all the time, and it changing your day-to-day reality. It's pretty cyberpunk, I have to say. I already have glasses, HRT, medicine, and shunts in our eyes for pressure. We absolutely love implants so long as they're not internet connected. Wait, did I? Hold on, I may have a. There may be someone at our door. I don't think there is, but there might be. Hold on. Okay, I think I just misinterpreted one of the sounds in the music as our fucking doorbell, because it has like a. It sounded like a doorbell. I definitely don't want to interact with any strange humans at. Well, it's 11 already. At 11:15 a.m. Okay, I was gonna see what weapons. The Aztec has been very good to me. Battle rifle. Yeah, I think that's the one I just picked up. Conehead looking ass. I still like the starting helmet the most. Now there's some fucking armored core legs. Let's try this. And grenade launcher. No swords this time, no melee. We'll do fine. I'm transhumanist, but I'm not a fool. Letting yourself get hacked isn't an upgrade. Oh my god, I got fucking chicken legs like the fucking, I got chicken legs like the fuckers in, Metal Gear Solid 4. I really like the other one I was using because it has those little arms. Tiny little explosions. Explosions for babies. I like a style where I'm allowed to be a little bit more mobile. I have to pause so much for my attacks. That looks like death, so I'm not gonna go there. Okay. That has decent fuel efficiency, I guess. Doesn't open from that side. I guess with this style I'm doing a little bit... I'm being a little bit more safe. What? Oh! I thought it was gonna be a little bit safer. Experimentation is part of the game. Certainly could be worse. Did you fall? I'm okay if you fell, though. Feel free to fall. I prefer it, really. Oh. Healing. God, I'm thinking of the fucking, there's a cluster of fucking, trans lolicons on, Blue Sky that, are also age players because, good things come in twos. And, they have this meme sort of normalized within the cluster of just, posting peeing. Because, you know, girls never pee alone. And just, I was thinking about that. I was like, healing. Oh my god, I'm like, that girl in Konosuba blows everything up right now. I don't know her name. I have not watched Konosuba. Can I still be an anime fan if I haven't watched Konosuba? Not that I'm against watching Konosuba, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I love how the anti-woke Steam game list you read a while ago also censored transhumanist themes. New bigotry unlocked! I guess if you're going to be a bigot, it's somewhere admirable if you're starting on something 100 years early. I guess. Transphobes are embarrassing. What the fuck? Die! Damn, that's fucking awkward. I have made a terrible loadout. I think there's a chest over there. Oh, I'm out of everything. Well, time to get me and my shitty build out of here then. Chicken legs are cute though. Do they post Final Fantasy 14 content? I think I follow them. Finny, I think? Not usually the content that I'm seeing from them. Mostly talking about, like, Japan stuff. And anime. And peeing. And little jokes. They'll probably follow the account you're talking about, too. Let's see. Frame it out. 18 billion year old Cthulhu-mers be like, oh, right, like that game, Song of Seiya. If you like little anime girls and you like Cthulhu, it's the best game ever. I do really like the spear. It keeps me warm at night. I guess what I had before was fine. I like having weird little claw arms. They make me feel dangerous. Okay, hopefully I won't die this time, and then I'll go back and maybe do some level ups, hopefully? Because I've only actually done the starting level up, which might have something to do with my struggle right now. Nice. I'm referencing the J-Reg video where he compares boomers, zoomers, and Cthulhumers. You need to send me that. You need to send me that. We're gonna watch that later. I didn't know that Cthulhumers existed. I am sorry. I was not aware of the old ways. Damn. How can I forget about Cthulhumers? Has anyone seen the new Wendigoon video about the King in Yellow? We've been infected. We've been meaning to read the King in Yellow on stream. I don't know if we'll read it today, but it's certainly on our mind. And the King in Yellow is Eldritch, so that's why I'm thinking about it. There's also a King in Yellow anime girl in Sucker for Love. Honestly, the reloading speeds really make me think about the slow swings in something like Dark Souls. I am frustrated in a good way about how they translated that. This is not Zone of the Enders. Wah. Wah. Honestly, Mecha can be horror so easily. I'm like hiding behind this pillar, like, oh fuck, I had forgotten how to heal actually. I kept pressing the reload button instead of the heal button. So there was that. Because I'm so smart. You love that preppy theater, bitch. Yo, J-Reg's, like, I guess, like, more civilian channel where he talks about, like, art stuff. He's basically, CJ the Eds for white people. And he talks about, like, value of art as an artist. And, like, I mean, it sounds sort of self-helpy to a degree. Also because he is shilling, like, a fucking mentorship or whatever. But, like, everything he says, like, he talks about how to foster art community. Because artists survive better when they collaborate and, like, help each other, right? That certainly inspired us. We've talked about being pro-social with our art, which is literally the thing that he talks about all the time on his I say it's his civilian channel. It's not the JREG channel. It's literally called like Greg Guevara. Like it's his actual name, presumably. I love penetrating. But you know, I'm a switch. There's a tabletop RPG called Cthulhu Punk, where it's cyberpunk versus Eldritch Horror. Oh, that sounds pretty sick. Oh. That was almost the end of me. Did you just dodge that? That's fucked up. They shouldn't be allowed to dodge. Dodging is cheating. Open sesame. That's a big gun. It probably goes on my shoulder. That is very preschool logic, though. I can't believe you dodged. That's cheating. I'm just fully out of ammo. It might not be feasible to explore much farther. I don't want to risk death exploring places that might, be instant death. Wow. No ambush? I mean, it's gotta be an ambush, right? Cool doll parts. Oh, so that's what that hole dropped down to. Yeah, I think it was a good haul. Well, actually, I don't know how much sells as a good haul for level ups. For buying cosmetics or for buying weapons, this is probably okay though. Tattle when the boss heals. Nuh-uh, you're not allowed to heal. Gosh. Enemies in Bloodborne that are bosses but technically aren't. They have unlimited healing. Time to go to my brood mommy. I was referring to Hatzer from Sucker for Love, actually, but yeah, same difference.
話がしたいの?
Humanoid expansion limit release. Nerve samples? I need nerve samples, not cells.
他に何かある?
Okay. Expansion material.
他に何かある?
Interesting. There's a mechanic they haven't introduced yet. I have not unlocked the ability to level up yet. Interesting. Eh? Oh yeah, I forgot about her. She's so baby talk. Oh yeah, I forgot there's more outfits. Some more hairs. Oh, visor. This is kind of like an afro, right? Oh, L. Yeah. She's a cosmetic girly. All right, they do upgrades. I don't want to upgrade anything yet. Ara. Hey Yo-Yo. It's still useful, you'll see. Upgrade resources. Oh, okay. Graphite seed. So these are probably for upgrading weapon parts? Yeah. Not for upgrading my body. And I don't have as much money to buy guns. That's okay though. I'll focus with my next dive instead of focusing on just killing and accumulating cells. I'll focus on finding on getting progress to the next door to unlock the way through for that locked door. Everyone knows who Yashika is, and who Yashika and Mushika are, even me. I can't believe they're here. You must have been super nice to them. I gotta collect more stuff so I can keep up. Be careful out there. Oh, right. I totally forgot about the fact that the NPCs that are in my hub world, aside from Mommy Skeleton, are like people that I've talked to. I don't remember talking to the twins though. I do remember giving Yo-Yo some bread though. To learn more about this ability, look up humanoid expansion on DeviantArt. Are you more tactical or tactical aesthetically? I'm probably 60% tactical. Ah. Okay, I've learned my lesson about doing an air an air attack with my melee. Don't do that shit. Very armored coreism. Your your mech your skeleton has to come to a complete stop before the fuel replenishes when you overheat. Okay, that was a dead end. Good to know. I hate dying unnecessarily. Unless you're Obi-Wan, never take the high ground. I think we had a conversation with someone recently who mentioned that actually, the Obi-Wan being like, you have the high ground, I have the high ground, so I automatically win now, is really silly, other than the fact that, you know, Anakin's back was to, you know, a volcano, basically. And it leaves a bad impression or the wrong idea for him to have said that in a way that seems so declarative that as soon as someone has the high ground, they will immediately win a sword fight. Maybe if someone has a sword and the other person has a spear, and the person who has the high ground has a spear. Maybe. Have fun. Need to sleep now. Bye. See you, Stem. Hope y'all have a good sleep. Stab! Healing. Keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times. Oh wow, your shield can break. That's good to know. Yeah, honestly, a shotgun would be really nice. Out of heavy ordnance. Can't believe Gura is graduated and gone now. Still thinking about that. "2025 is so historic." For good and for bad. Mostly bad, honestly. I can't think of many good things that have happened this year. Hi. Poke. Poke. What can I say? It was the one thing I liked about Facebook. My morning light, now in the end has seen it, shall we all my morning light, now in the end I've seen a flower. That was my fault. And I am out of stuff. Shit. Now it's time to run past everything if I want to keep exploring. Versatile resources. Wait, I just use it for my inventory? Wait, no. Fuck. A decoy that can distract enemies. Inflicts the user with a parasitic infection when used. Why would I want to be... Fucking kinky dolls. Well, that worked out. There must be a way to get higher. She says, pulling out her bowl. Street level. We have unlocked a door. But I don't think I've been on the other side of that door yet. Oh! Fuck. So I never noticed that path before. So it wasn't the door that I was looking for, but it was a door. Alright. We have resupplied. A shortcut I didn't even know about. I'm sorry, you're defenseless. I know that if the shoe was on the other foot, you would kill me. It must be done. I am not a doll. 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 And neither were you. This is gonna be some interesting platforming. Graphite seed obtained. Well, I don't think I could get over there with my current fuels. Definitely got the Dark Souls style desolation and isolation down. Who is this? Aja the Traveling Merchant. Need anything from a traveling merchant? Wait, you're not from the middle levels, are you? You smell weird. You're from below? Yeah, right, and I'm the progenitor. If you had any information on the middle levels, specifically Guardia, I'd pay you decent coin for it. But you don't know anything, do you? Well, whatever. Thank the goddess that I even got to talk with anyone. Folk here will kill anyone out of their nest without a second thought. From the looks of it, you must have had a rough time of it yourself. Rumor is, the Queen of Grandia went senile, keeps telling their subjects to plunder and kill apparently. And all they can do is follow orders. They don't even question it. Poor bastards. Anyways, enough talking. Now it's your turn to buy something. Supplement. Regeneration supplement. Cures or removes any accumulated short circuiting. Alright, thank you.
他に必要なものはありますか？
Anything else?
しばらくは私はこ
I'll
こ
be
にい
here
ます
for a
ので。
while. I'm sorry, you're defenseless. I know that. If you were on the other foot, you wouldn't hesitate to kill me. Pokes at her furiously for 5 minutes. Yado the investigator.
もしか
Are
して
are you
私
looking at
です
me?
か？私
I am a soldier of Grandia.
ヘイです。
Call me
ヨドって
Yodo.
言います。も
Is
ういいですか？
is that all?
見られるの
I'm not used to being stared at.
その匂い
That smell.
じゃなくて
Or I mean,
雰囲気
that look. Did
下
you
から来たんです。
come from below?
なら
Then,
早く行かれた方が
yes, you should leave
ガ
quickly.
ーディナ
Grandia
いつ
is
も戦争
always
中
at
で
war.
姉妹
Anyone who
以
isn't
外
a sister is
全て敵だ。
our enemy.
あなたの故郷
In your home,
目
is there
見えない
a
戦
warrior?
士
A
いません
warrior
か？
who can't see?
鼻がいいんです。
I have a good nose.
見えなくても
They said that
その
even
鼻
if
が
I
あれ
can't
ば
see, that I could still keep watch with
あ
my
なたがい
nose.
ると
I can't
仕事
really work when you're
で
here.
きないのです。
So could you
そろそろまだ何か
is there anything you'd
まだ何か
Is she actually keeping watch? Are these doors to the settlement or something else? Elevator time. Is every character in this game an anime girl? Well, there's one that's an anime woman, but she's a skeleton. So functionally, yes. Hmm. I found yet another loop around, but I must continue to explore. It is interesting to have been told about the cult-like faction with a senile ruler, and then meet someone from there who does not immediately kill me. Now I think about it, I actually haven't fought any other dolls yet. The first boss was a tank, but it didn't seem like a doll. Oh my god, this is an enemy. This is an enemy? My current combat abilities are not enough. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Amygdala looking ass. Is this a mortar system? Sorry. I know. It's confusing and distressing. Oh, a nest gate key. Are you okay? Vorg the Fallen Soldier. It's quite dangerous here, but I must say, didn't think you seedlings existed anymore. Leave now. If you hold your life dear, the mist will be here soon enough. The mist makes no sound, has no presence, and leaves no trace. None who have turned their back on Grandia have ever escaped the mist. Come now. They might be right around the corner. Me? Does this look like a body that can run away? My arms are all but rusted stiff and my legs refuse to move. I can only accept what will come next. It was my fault for living so long. Give bionic parts 8. What's the meaning of this? No. There's no point in asking. Seedling lends nymphs astray, only to ridicule them. But it's too late. Your mischief won't mean anything. The mist will make quick work of me. Leave this old hunk of metal to die. Go find your next plaything. Go. Leave. I think what I really like so far about the story or the world that is being presented here is like, okay, I know that for people who are not like very much have the brainworms we do, they'll seem like a little bit of a stretch, but thinking about like being trans right now, for example, if someone told me that they started their transition yesterday, for example, if they were a newly cracked egg, a seedling as it were, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised, but it would feel like a mix of, wow, that's really something that you made that choice right now while they're trying to stomp us out. And on the other hand, there's like an amount of naivete that I would immediately assign to that person. It's interesting being in this world and just having the option to help people even in these small ways, just give them something so they can survive a little bit longer. And just by doing that, you sort of reinforce your own innocence and that you think that people can be saved. It's actually really heartwarming. I have to admit, I'm more used to being jaded, I guess. What's the matter with you? What? What do you see this old hunk of scrap getting off by the mist? Then make yourself scarce. Once they've seen you, they won't let you out of here alive. Leave if you want to live. Interesting. Maybe the mist is actually a unit or characters. Encountered corrupted knight of Grandia. Touchscon Sam. Toucan Sam. In the grimdark future, these are the only waifus. I mean, I haven't socially transitioned yet, so I'm trying not to do the thing that plenty of trans people, myself included, complain about, where it's like, oh, you're so brave. But I mean, it's valid to value your self-preservation and go, maybe I'll be able to do this later, or if I am able to move to another different country, even though fascism isn't necessarily just in the Western world or just in America. And then I died. It's a very scary time right now. But I guess at any point, even if you've been, you know, in the world as a trans person moving through it, just because it's your normal doesn't mean it's not scary. Oh, you don't actually lose all your cells on death. That's cute. Oh, the places you'll go. Oh shit, boss time. I wonder if it's the Black Mist. tarantula tank. Very cute. Walking fortress. This thing is gonna tank so many hits. I wonder if I can blast off some of these... some of the shielding. Well, I had my thing answered. Fuck! Wow, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's actually a weapon. Confirmed. Ugh. You are not a doll. 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 Okay, this is the way I came. I appreciate melee a great deal. If I had only had guns, I may not have been able to complete the mission. The arboreal nest. Like an arboretum? Like the place you take girls in Tomameki Memorial when you want to friend zone them. Can you friend zone a robot? The arboreal nest. This nest seems infested. Oh, this one has a shotgun. Understood. Arboretum. A treehouse. Alternate title. I can't believe that my apocalypse is this cute. Very good title. Your respect for Doll's Nest reminds me of those media going over their heads memes, but specifically the parodies. War never changes. But what you're missing is lesbian robots. Lesbian robot Yuri will save us all. Well, I guess that's redundant. If it's lesbian, it's already Yuri. If it's Yuri, it's already lesbian. Where it's like, the identity you choose for yourself is more important than the identity the society assigns for you. And the overhead arrow is, haha, waifu with guns go brr. That makes sense. Sorry, I should do it like this. The identity you assign yourself is more important than the identity that society assigns you. Waifu with guns go brr. Something like that. I am a big fan of the trans people can double jump from Celeste meme. I cannot jump high enough to get on top of the bots. Armor piercing agent. I'm assuming that coats my bullets. I like the pizza tower add-on meme. Trans mass people have a side charge. I see. There we go. Yep, they can hurt themselves with their own fucking flamethrowers. I don't know if all of their attacks are friendly fire, but good to know. That's actually something I don't think that Dark Souls does. Where does this tilt still go? Nah. Honestly, I should go back. I've unlocked a new area after all. This is a flame welder. Wifers flaming. Decayed brood chamber, a dark enclosed space, smells overwhelmingly nostalgic. Central cavern, a ruined land at the heart of a massive crater. Older life forms still survive there. The Great Forest, a group of high-rise ruins located in the middle levels. The Grandians rule these lands and have hunted the area dry of its resources. The Arboreal Nest, a mining site built into the Grand Spinal Column. One of the few remaining fertile regions in the middle areas. Accumulation Zone. A land where it rains from above without end. Home to variants that take and steal the little resources that are left. brooding in the chamber. Oh, just a stray flower. I actually been meaning to change some cosmetics. Well, that's closer to me than before. I am literally wearing a Gardenian combat humanoid set. That is super funny. Anime protag, stat up, hair gel cost up. God, you're silly. Which child would you like to temper? Come back soon. Yeah, haven't upgraded anything yet. Still feeling out the weapons, don't want to commit yet. Can't commit yet. Let's see. Grenade launcher. Jeffy? Compress gun. Bubble launcher? Rapid fire plasma can capable of 4 blasts. A handgun that penetrates barrier. That sounds very useful. This is like Bloodborne. You don't automatically refill on your healing items. Those are actually refilled from your inventory. And we need to make sure we keep having enough in our inventory to use. Thank you, thank you. I'll change my guns real quick, and then we're gonna take a break probably. These are some interesting legs. I am a fucking airplane. Huh? What's this? I'm almost up with my weight limit, too. Oh, did I already own one of these? I think I already own one of these. Actually, I want to go on a little test run. Let's see. What? The upturned forest. I don't think I've been there. It's a great sword. It's a great sword. Sealing with a greatsword, what will she do? Other than die. Oh. Yeah, I'm not getting the type of ups that I would normally get. Got... I feel like I'm on my 1,000 times resist bullshit right now. I should not be alive. Now I'm thinking of, what do they say in, Starship Troopers? What you monkeys want to live forever? What do you call them, apes? Something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna change these weapons immediately. I got some pretty big stuff on my kit. We'll see how this goes. Well, when we return. Yeah, so I haven't found a headset that sparks as much joy as this. Maybe I just like covering up my face. I'm thinking Keanu Reeves being like, no, you're a great sword! I hope it doesn't only save when I'm in a nest. Or else I'm gonna be pretty pissed. Although I guess when I'm not pissed. But that's a different kind of piss. Thank you for joining me in the nest. We will nest again. I'm gonna go on break. I'll see you when I get back.